This is our list of top young upcoming female pop stars of 2026. Stay with us to find out who we have at number 1.
Just keep watching.
The era of untouchable superstars, artists who dominate culture for a decade straight, has started to fade. In its place, a new generation is rising, one built on streaming power, viral moments, and deeply personal storytelling. But not all rising stars are created equal. Some are building empires, others are writing moments, and a few are quietly positioning themselves to define the next era of pop music entirely. At number 10, we have Chappell Roan.
This industry, you really flourish if you don't protect yourself.
You flourish if you don't protect yourself.
Yes.
Like if you don't look after yourself, you could have a pretty big, amazing career. You've seen that kind of thing happen.
We've all seen that.
Chappell Roan stands out as one of the most distinctive artists in modern pop. Her theatrical approach, bold visuals, and unapologetic identity have made her a cultural force beyond just music. Her rise has been driven by both critical acclaim and strong fan engagement, particularly within communities that value individuality and self-expression. What sets her apart is her commitment to authenticity. She doesn't dilute her identity for mainstream appeal. However, that same authenticity raises questions about scalability. Can her unique style translate into sustained global dominance? If it can, she has the potential to become one of the most influential pop artists of her generation. The artists who refuse to fit in are often the ones who redefine the rules. At number 9, we have Pink Panthers.
Appreciate you. You look like $1 million. Now talk to me. This is your first Grammys.
Yes. I'm still surprised that I'm on here, and when you're telling me that you knew who I was, because I'm like, how the hell? Because in my opinion, my music is still part of a niche genre of music. I don't believe my music is or should be mainstream. So the fact that it's bleeding into the mainstream and people like you guys or someone on the street might be like, oh my, and they don't look like, because in my mind, my fan base are people that are that dye their hair red and green and wear wristbands and have glass. It's like the girls, the teen girls.
Pink Panthers has redefined what a modern pop song can sound like. Her use of UK garage, drum and bass, and hyperpop elements has created a signature style that feels both nostalgic and futuristic. Tracks like Boy's a Liar helped her cross into international success, proving that unconventional sounds can still dominate globally. What makes her unique is her understanding of modern listening habits. Her music is designed for repeat consumption. However, the challenge lies in longevity. Can she evolve beyond short-form hits into full-length projects that hold attention? If she manages that transition, she could become one of the defining sonic innovators of this era. She mastered the moment, now she has to master the movement.
I suffer in silence. I still don't know why. I guess I'm built for another.
At number 8, Gracie Abrams.
And I'll have a drink, wistfully lean out my window and walk.
What about you? What was the first song you wrote?
The songs that I was writing at home, I felt like the theme was always about feeling a little bit stuck and not really knowing how to articulate that to other people. So I felt generally better when I would not verbalize to another person, but instead just write. I'm in today an interesting place mentally, psychologically sort of about it all, where I think hearing you talk about the whole point of writing, reflecting the world that we're living in, I feel called more than ever. That's what I'm writing about these days. That's what I find myself writing about these days.
Gracie Abrams has quietly become one of the most emotionally resonant voices of her generation. Her music thrives on intimacy, often built around soft production and deeply personal lyrics that feel almost like private conversations. Her association with Taylor Swift, including touring opportunities, has significantly boosted her visibility, placing her in front of massive audiences. Commercially, her streaming numbers have grown steadily, reflecting a loyal and engaged fan base. What makes Gracie compelling is her ability to connect emotionally without relying on big, explosive moments. However, this also presents a challenge. Her sound risks being perceived as too safe or repetitive if not expanded. The next phase of her career will require artistic risk, pushing beyond her comfort zone while preserving the vulnerability that defines her. When your music feels like a whisper, the challenge is learning when to raise your voice. At number 7, we have Addison Rae.
Driving your car, I'm your baby. So sweet, my innocence in the backseat.
I think just getting to know myself better, just trying different things, trying to see, I guess, what I wanted to feel from the music, and then, yeah, it's kind of been a lot of listening to my heart. And so I've been doing that, and I feel like there was a phase when I was really scared and fearful of like what people would say or how people would feel about it, and then, I don't know, it's really shocking, honestly, and really overwhelmingly amazing that people are really connecting.
Addison Rae's journey into music has been one of the most scrutinized, initially known as a social media personality. Her transition into pop was met with skepticism. However, over time, she has shown clear artistic growth. Her music has leaned into polished, nostalgic pop sounds, drawing inspiration from early 2000s aesthetics while maintaining modern production. What's interesting about Addison is not just her music, but what she represents, the blending of influencer culture and traditional pop stardom. While she may not yet have the critical respect of others on this list, her visibility and adaptability give her a unique advantage. She understands how to capture attention, and in today's industry, that's a powerful tool. The question is whether she can convert that attention into lasting artistic credibility. In a world where anyone can be famous, the real challenge is proving you deserve it. At number 6, we have Olivia Dean.
It's so easy to fall in love.
I have no interest in immediate virality. I just want to make music that lasts and like you can come back to, you know, like a good bowl of soup.
Olivia Dean brings a level of artistry that feels almost timeless in today's fast-paced industry. Emerging from the UK scene, she blends elements of soul, jazz, and contemporary pop, creating music that prioritizes musicality over virality. Her debut album received strong critical reception, with many praising her vocal ability and songwriting maturity. Unlike many of her peers, Olivia's rise has not been driven by viral hits, but by consistent quality and strong live performances. This positions her differently. She's not chasing trends, she's building a catalog. However, this approach also means her global breakthrough has been slower. In an industry dominated by algorithms, subtlety can sometimes be overlooked. Still, artists like Olivia often have the longest careers because they are not dependent on moments. They are built on substance. While others chase attention, she builds something that can last beyond it. At number 5, we have Tyla.
Take me out my mind.
When someone would play me a beat, it has to like grab me in order for me to even want to like work on it. But usually I love listening to the beats and just singing random things, like whatever comes to me, and then listening back and choosing what feels the best. That's usually how I like approaching. And then after the words, just they come.
Tyla's emergence represents a major shift in the global music landscape, where African sounds are no longer just influential, they are central to mainstream pop. Coming out of South Africa, her breakout single, Water, didn't just perform well, it became a global phenomenon, dominating TikTok, streaming platforms, and charts across multiple countries. It also earned her historic recognition, including major international awards, positioning her as one of the leading voices of this new global wave. What makes Tyla stand out is her ability to maintain cultural authenticity while appealing to a worldwide audience. She doesn't dilute her sound to fit into Western pop. Instead, she brings her sound into global pop spaces. This gives her a unique advantage, especially as listeners become more open to international influences. Beyond the music, her image, choreography, and aesthetic all contribute to her growing brand, making her not just a singer, but a full pop performer. However, with rapid success comes pressure. The challenge for Tyla now is sustainability, proving that her success is not tied to a single hit, but can evolve into a long-term career. If she continues to innovate while staying true to her roots, she has the potential to become one of the defining global pop stars of this generation. She didn't follow the global sound. She became part of the reason it changed. At number 4, we have Madison Beer.
I feel like for a very long time, as an artist, I feel like I've been used to feeling like my most therapeutic moments and cathartic moments have been writing music and, feeling all my feelings and making songs and going on tour and whatnot. But I've actually realized that it's been the silence between the songs that I've been able to really reflect and be alone with myself and have those intimate moments completely on my own. And those have actually been the moments that I've grown the most. So that's kind of what that means. And it's just like, when you take a second away from the noise, you can really flourish in new ways.
Madison Beer's journey is one of the most complex in modern pop. A career that began with viral discovery but evolved into a long, often underestimated climb toward artistic credibility. First gaining attention after being noticed by Justin Bieber in the early 2010s, she entered the industry with immediate visibility but without a clear identity, a situation that has historically made longevity difficult for many young artists. For years, she was caught between perception and potential, seen more as an internet personality than a serious musician. Vocally, Madison has consistently demonstrated strong control and range, but her true growth has been in storytelling, moving from surface-level pop to more introspective, layered songwriting. Commercially, she may not yet match the chart dominance of artists higher on this list, but her streaming numbers, loyal fanbase, and increasing critical respect suggest a slow-burn trajectory rather than a fleeting moment. What makes Madison Beer particularly interesting in this conversation is her resilience. In an era where artists are often defined by their first impression, she has spent years reshaping how she is perceived, proving that early industry narratives are not always permanent. Still, questions remain about whether she can break into the highest tier of mainstream pop stardom, or if she will remain a critically respected, fan-driven artist just outside the top echelon. Some artists are given their moment, others have to rebuild themselves until the moment finally feels earned. At number 3, we have Olivia Rodrigo.
I just can't imagine how you could be so okay.
One of the most devastating feelings we can feel as a human being is, loss of somebody that you love very deeply. Whether that's in a romantic sense or a friend sense or a parent or whatever. And so I've always been sort of obsessed with that kind of emotional journey.
Olivia Rodrigo stands at the top because she has already achieved what many others are still chasing, both commercial dominance and critical respect. Her debut album, Sour and Follow-Up Guts, solidified her as a generational voice, blending pop, rock, and deeply personal songwriting. She has consistently topped charts, broken streaming records, and maintained cultural relevance. What makes her unique is her ability to connect emotionally while still appealing to mainstream audiences. She is not just popular, she is impactful. And in terms of future promise, she has already proven she can sustain success beyond a single era. At number 2, we have Tate McRae.
Like, how does the whole songwriting process work for you?
Yeah, I mean, I get ideas like when I'm on the plane or when I'm, in bed. So I just have like a million voice notes, just like terrible voice notes that I end up like having to play for like the producers in the room, and it just sounds like so bad when I'm playing it out loud. But yeah, I'm always jotting down notes. My brain is like super scattered and like all over the place. So I feel like I'm a very creativity sparks at any moment of the day, and then when I'm in a session, it's just like grind time. I'll just try to think of ideas and come up with things fresh on the spot.
Tate McRae's rise is a perfect example of what happens when talent, timing, and consistency align. Before fully breaking into music, she was already known for her background in dance, which gave her a performance edge that many of her peers lack. This foundation has played a significant role in shaping her identity as a pop artist, not just someone who makes songs, but someone who delivers complete performances. Her early success with tracks like You Broke Me First introduced her as an emotionally driven artist, but her later work has shown a clear evolution toward more confident, high-energy pop. Her hit Greedy marked a major turning point, proving that she could create commercially dominant records while maintaining her distinct style. Unlike many artists who rely on one breakout moment, Tate has built a steady stream of successful releases, accumulating billions of streams and consistently charting across multiple markets. This level of consistency is rare among emerging artists and is often a strong indicator of long-term success. What makes Tate particularly interesting is her balance. She combines emotional vulnerability with mainstream appeal, performance ability with strong vocals, and artistic identity with commercial awareness. She may not always be the loudest or most controversial artist, but she is one of the most reliable. And in an industry that constantly shifts, reliability can be more powerful than hype. Momentum is what creates stars that last. At number 1, we have Sabrina Carpenter.
I have hundreds and hundreds, because I think that was truly like a coping mechanism for me through the last couple years. And I figured, also not every thought of mine is going to make it into a song, thank God. And so that was kind of the outlet that I was using, was just like vent, type. Doesn't matter, no punk, no like, it doesn't matter like what I'm saying, really.
Right.
It's just to get it out there so I don't keep it inside of me for so long.
Sabrina Carpenter's rise to the top tier of pop is one of the most calculated and well-executed transitions in recent years. Starting out as a Disney-affiliated actress, she initially built a young fan base through television before gradually pivoting into music. For a long time, her artistry was overshadowed by her image, and she struggled to define a clear musical identity in an industry that often boxes former child stars into predictable lanes. However, that began to change significantly with her later projects, particularly Emails I Can't Send, which marked a turning point in both her sound and public perception. The album showcased a more mature, self-aware version of Sabrina, one that leaned into storytelling, emotional honesty, and subtle humor. Songs from that era gained traction not just because they were catchy, but because they felt personal and relatable. Then came her next phase, where she fully stepped into pop stardom with bigger records, more confident visuals, and a stronger cultural presence. Her ability to create viral moments, dominate conversations, and maintain consistent output has elevated her beyond just being another pop artist. What truly sets Sabrina apart now is her understanding of pop as both music and performance. She knows how to balance controversy, confidence, and charisma in a way that keeps audiences engaged. Whether it's through bold lyrics, clever marketing, or headline-making moments, she has mastered the modern pop formula. At this point in her career, she's not just participating in the industry, she's influencing it. Some artists wait for their moment. She studied the game until she could create her own.